the entire club calendar. And everybody has the ability, every officer has the ability to do that. Let's now go in and create a repeating event. Repeating event is something that just reoccurs over a certain interval. And let's say that we're going to create a repeating event. This is going to occur tomorrow night, Friday, at 7 o'clock. And of course, we're going to change the times here. But for just test purposes, we're going to say we'll call this, I don't know, trap training. And again, this is a different way to make sure that it appears on only the club calendar. We're going to select an ARGC there. And if we need to add additional information, we can go in here, select Edit Event Details, and down here add add whatever information is necessary. Different information to include there is what to bring for any kind of event, who to call, any sort of additional important information that you want people to know. And generally, you want to keep the subject line fairly simple, informative, and include any details in the description line. Now, for the repeating event, all we need to do is select Repeat, that box right there. And now we're going to say that this event, this trap training event that we're creating, we're going to say this repeats on either a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly schedule. We'll say that it repeats, in this case, weekly, that it repeats every week. We could say that it repeats every other week, every 3 weeks, for example. We'll say that it repeats every other week on a Friday. And we'll say that it's going to repeat until, we'll say until June 17th. And then we'll click Done. And it says here repeats every 2 weeks on Friday until June 17th. Alternatively, I'm going to go back here and click Edit. We can say that, let's say that it repeats monthly. And for monthly, let's say that it repeats on every month on a particular day of the week. So here, we're going to say it repeats each month on the second Friday. And that's different than weekly every other Friday. So you can play around with these settings until you get the entry that you're looking for just right. So we'll click Done there. Now, if we're done and everything's fine, we can simply just go up here and save. Now, and there it goes, and it shows up live on the club calendar right now. Trap training, 7 p.m. More details. You can get some additional information about it. And it's going to repeat each month on the second Friday. And just to test that, we'll look each month. It's January. We'll jump over here to February. Here's the first Friday, second Friday. So again, that worked. Let's go back now and delete it. Actually, let's not delete it. Let's do this. Let's say instead of the event, the same trap training event, instead of it repeating, let's say it's an all-day event. So it's something special going on, and it's occurring all day, just on Friday. Alternatively, if it occurs over a weekend, we can change the end date here and say it occurs Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all day long. We'll save it. And here it shows up a little bit differently because it's an all-day event. It shows up at the top here, and it spans the multiple days. So again, that shows up live on the calendar right now. So let's delete it just so we don't confuse anybody. Oops. There we go. Now let's say that that for example the dollar menu on Wednesday evenings is going to change. It's now going to be from 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock. We're going to go in and edit this calendar entry. Now this calendar entry occurs every single Wednesday right now from 4 to 7. We're going to go in, we're going to edit it, and then we can just simply change the time. It's a drop-down box. Just click on it once, and we'll say it now goes from 4 to 8 o'clock. Save those changes, and now because this event first has already been created and we're editing it, do we want to edit only this particular day, which means only this instance? Do we want to change the new time for the kitchen dollar menu for only for, looks like Wednesday the 12th, or do we want to change it for every dollar menu day in the entire calendar, which is in this particular case probably the more likely scenario? So we would hit all events in this series, meaning all of the series of entries that it appears on the calendar. So we'll do that, and here it goes instantly. It goes from 4 to 8 o'clock. The brown bar gets a little bit bigger here by another hour, and again it'll show up on the main calendar page that way. So again, let's change that back. I want to edit, and here we just simply change that back to 7 o'clock. Save it, and again we want to change it for all events in the series. And then we're back. Let's look at the main calendar. Here we go. Everything's back. It's from 4 to 7. And we've gone ahead and pre-populated many of the entries in this calendar. But going forward, each of the officers will be responsible for keeping the calendar up to date, making whatever kind of adjustments, either time-wise, event-wise, adding different descriptions, more information, whatever is necessary. But there's a good start for what we have here. As you can see, the calendar also includes phases of the moon, different holidays, etc. That's it for the calendar. Let me just kind of look, make sure. I think that everything should be fairly straightforward. Again, if you have any questions, issues, concerns, please contact me. I'm more than happy to help. Really just kind of log in, play around a little bit with it. Certainly be a little bit careful with what you're doing, so as not to modify the events that are currently there. And just remember that anything that you're doing will show up live on the club account if it shows up as brown on your calendar. If you're testing the system or anything like that, you might want to leave the default setting and just play around with using the calendar on your own calendar page, and you'll know that because everything will show up as blue. If it's blue, it's safe. You're not gonna mess up anything or break anything. If it's brown, just be a little bit more careful to make sure it actually is what you hope it to be. So thanks a lot, and there we go for the calendar.